Hola and welcome. Thanks for dropping in. As always, thanks for liking and subscribing. It is Jim Crocket Memorial Tag Team Cup on the dais tonight. If you aren't excited, then something ain't right with your head. Let's jump right into the pre-show. This one is going to be very interesting. We're easing our way right back into the mix, just a week removed from WrestleMania, which was absolutely astonishing. And this is a tremendous opportunity to have our tag division put on full display. Without further ado, let's get to it as we have a 6-man tag going on in the pre-show as our New Japan additions, Masachono, Shinya Hashimoto, and the Great Muta get a victory over our American babyfaces. Subpar Wrestling, Little Heat, Chono, Hashimoto, Muta get the dub when Muta made Isley submit with a figure 4 leg lock. Apparently, Shinya was head and shoulders above the rest. He's at a 75 already. That is definitely something great to see. Definitely a fairly even matchup, and these New Japan imports are already bringing the heat. Definitely something to look out for in the future. Then we got a 1v1 as beautiful Bobby Eaton goes up against Barry Windham. Windham gets the dub here with a flying lariat, 87 by Windham. Huge performance. And Bobby Eaton only a 67. Definitely a little bit disappointing to see that, but nonetheless, good match for the pre-show. And then, without further ado, we are on to the main card, where the Mega Powers are shown, our last winners. And obviously, the Mega Powers aren't the same as they were a year ago, because just a couple weeks ago in the game, we had the Mega Powers explode at WrestleMania 6 as Savage defeated Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight title. If you haven't already checked it out, it's definitely worth your time. A lot of good stuff happened on there, and obviously the main event was explosive. Without further ado, let's get into match 1 of the Crocket Cup, as the Road Warriors defeat the Rock and Roll Express in match 1. Two legends of the tag division go mano a mano, and the Road Warriors come out the victors. Then in match 2, we have the Blade Runners going up against the Brain Busters. Superb wrestling, good heat. We have the Brain Busters move on to round 2 following interference by Jake the Snake Roberts. Obviously, the Ultimate Warrior won a 6-man match on WrestleMania to become a contender for the IC title. Now Jake is trying to, I guess, get ahead of the curve and attack Warrior before Warrior can attack him. Sting looking phenomenal early on. Warrior 81 pretty good himself, and the Brainbusters looking very solid as well. Finally, we got a segment here where the 4 Horsemen are being hyped up, and Inoki brings the 3 men who won on the pre-show face to face with Flair, telling him that the 4 Horsemen are not alone here in the WWF. The landscape has certainly changed, my friends, and we are definitely going to see evidence of that from now until WrestleMania 7. So strap in and get ready for the ride. And lastly, well, not lastly, but we have the Bulldogs pulling out a tremendous match with Demolition. Certainly one of the best matches Demolition has been in quite a while. Davey Boy, obviously our new NWA Heavyweight Champion, and he gets a big win there. And then also the Hart Foundation lose to our new tag team champions, the Steiner Brothers, and this was one of the best matches so far. Certainly could have been a final. No doubt about that. Superb wrestling. Decent reaction from the crowd. Brett brought it. Jim, the Anvil Neidhart, did very well himself. And the Steiners are looking pretty good as well. And we are going to move forward as Sting calls out Jake Roberts because of his interference, costing the Blade Runners their match in round 1. And now we are into round 2 as the Road Warriors go head-to-head with the Bulldogs. And it's looking pretty good so far. Animal and Hawk come up just short as Davey Boy gets another victory. Then we have Dusty Rhodes flanked by more New Japan alum cutting a promo on the meaning of the Crocket Cup. Him being a large part of the NWA's legacy. He was the booker upon purchase, and certainly he knows what it means to be a part of the Crocket Cup. And Tatsuya Fujinami, Inoki, and Muda are definitely looking to add to the history in years to come. Then we have our final, which is absolutely splendid. Superb wrestling, decent reaction. The Busters get a win over the Steiner Brothers, our tag champions, which is a huge, huge story moving forward. After Kurt Hennig, another member of the Four Horsemen, interferes, and Tully and Arn are looking dynamite without a doubt. Scott Steiner looking very good as well, and Rick Steiner struggling to keep up a little bit, but that's okay because the match more than held up. Then we have Flair cutting a promo on behalf of the Brain Busters, and then Busters versus Bulldogs, 5 stars. Superb wrestling, good heat. Brain Busters defeat the Bulldogs as Arn Anderson gets a submission victory after Flair stuck his nose in there for the Brain Busters. Arn Anderson wins the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup, and they etch their name into the history books and become Crockett Cup champs. 5 stars to end the night. Man, what can I say? I mean, these tag tournaments have gone super well, which is awesome. And this one was exclusively the tag division. Last year's we had Bruiser come in right for the Crockett Cup essentially, and then the Mega Powers formed for the Crockett Cup. So we had, that addition, which really helped last year's, but this year, completely isolated to the tag division we had coming out of WrestleMania, without any additions, knocked it out of the park. And it's awesome to see all these guys essentially get to show off what they can do, given the amount of time which they were given, which is awesome. And Arn and Tully are back looking real dominant, which is definitely something to behold. Davey Boy looking phenomenal. He's a champ himself. we got a lot of young, up-and-coming talent who really don't get the spotlight very often to get the spotlight here. So this pay-per-view was really cool for that reason alone. And then to end it all, we got Dynamite kicking old Davey Boy while he's down. So we might have something coming out of that. 98. Wow, this... I think last year's was a 99, so slightly down from last year. But I think I can live with it, guys. You've been great. Thanks for watching. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. And leave a comment what you want to see next. I got a lot of stuff in mind, but suggestions are always welcome. And new subscribers, always welcome as well. You've been great, and I will catch y'all on the flippity floop.